cam live again. Not sure what happened there. Well, I think that all happened. Okay. So today the plan is to carry on with the Pokédex and do Wartortle. Thanks, Courtney, no problem. Just getting everything all set up at the moment. That was a bit loud. So I'm thinking a bit of a mix today for Wartortle. Not specifically for Wartortle, but just because I need to get into the routine of using more than just one brand of marker pen, I think. Just to make it a bit more varied. What I don't want to do is end up only ever using one type of marker pen when realistically that's not ideal for colour matching, especially considering I can just about find the right colours most of the time. But yeah, everything is over the ready, so let's knock up a Wartortle. Now Wartortle will fit really nicely in here. I'm thinking of perhaps getting him in we're just getting him straight here, I think, right under. Just want to make sure everything's in frame, because again, filming from my phone for some reason this has a habit of not really showing the entire frame. So let me just wait till stream catches up so I can see, because this isn't instant. Oh, thank you. Yes I do. Most times. I think the thing I found so far not as relaxing is choosing colours, just because I think I'm not there yet with sort of the ability to know exactly what looks like what wearing. It doesn't help that I think it was maybe either in the Squirtle video or the Charmander video where the colours on my so I have a little piece of sketchbook paper that I just essentially swatch the colours as and when I'm trying them, and they don't always look the same on this paper as they do on the paper of this sketchbook until they've dried, and then suddenly, oh okay, it looks the same, but obviously not going to be here while it dries. The process itself, like, yes, absolutely, drawing, colouring is really relaxing. Pokemon itself is something that's really kind of cathartic for me, because it is such a big part of my life, and it's something I've always, even as a child, tried to doodle and things. It's never really worked for me. So yeah, I think going through it like this, absolutely, yeah, it's relaxing, but it's also quite therapeutic is the wrong word, but I think in that kind of vein, it's very much helpful for me to, I suppose, to get my craft where I want it to be, but also doing something that I enjoy. If I was drawing things that I didn't enjoy, it probably wouldn't be as easy, but the fact that I'm drawing something that I not just enjoy, but I'm, you know, obsessed with to an extent, and Pokemon is an obsession. %, exactly, yeah. It's definitely is a massive part, and just being able to sort of, I think I've mentioned this a couple of streams, the beginning streams, where exactly that, it's a case of the fact being completing something, filling a whole part, for example, Squirtle's head only, filling a whole part of that picture in makes me feel calm, makes me feel good that something's, you know, come together, and definitely makes it to a point where I'm like, woosah, I can carry on now, and do the next part, and then do the next part. I think I'm going to start about here, just because I can get Wartortles. Exactly, yeah, that's definitely how art should be. I think, just like a lot of creative things, it should always be done for you and not for everyone else. Everyone else will follow, you know what I mean? I think it's very much a case of, I read a quote once, I'm struggling now to remember in my head who it was from, but it was a quote about, specifically about writing, and it said, you don't need motivation to write, and in this case, you don't need, it might not be motivation, actually that sounds wrong, but you don't need the push or to learn, or as it was to write, or in this case to draw. You don't teach chicken to be a chicken, it just is. And I think in this case it's similar in the sense of, you can learn how to be good at things, or how to be successful, or how to increase your skill, but to want and to do it is innately there. I think that's the important part. I'm already struggling with these ears. Possibly, yeah. That might be, yeah. I think I shared it on my Twitter years and years and years ago, which is probably like the only thing left on my Twitter. Right. Let's try this. Let's try this here first and see if that can get us in. Yeah, it's not ideal, but I think once we start moving forward with the actual image, it should be it should improve itself. I'm going to try and just sort this out. No, that's not going to be big enough, because the face needs to go completely massive chunk lower. So I think it's supposed to be one of the thing I've rubbed out the most, apart from maybe Charizard. But if we start here and go around that way, perhaps. That's more like it, and then that's improved a little. That's better. Yeah, happy with that. And the body's not, it looks like this could, you know, get a bit out of hand, but the body's not actually that that big. What I am going to do is right around here, start off with the arm, because that is right in the foreground. Again, a lot of this is gonna or can get fixed in the lining part of the video, so kind of, there we go. And then okay, so then we're gonna have that and then that, which is gonna help us with all the lines, I think. Okay, so I can just get the face done. I think I'll be happy to move on. That should be a bit wider. I need to remember that there's these little patches of darker blue, but I don't need to worry about that in this part of the drawing yet. Right, there's no line in there, and then that's gonna come. That does have a line in. That's going to be interesting to try and match without having. Oh yeah, definitely do. I'm gonna make sure to give Mush a little shout out when I get to that. You watch, it'll be something from the new generation, which will be like a 900 Pokemon away. Hi Sally. So if we can get give me just 1 sec. Document yourselves. Sorry about that. The bundle of joy is still awake. Alright, bro, what I'll do, Mum, is once I'm off here, I'll be downstairs anyway. Well, I hope. Be downstairs trying to get this all uploaded onto YouTube, so I'll thank you. I'll make sure it never happens again. Yeah, I'll try to get on straight away. If not, I'll be on the stream tonight anyway. Are you talking about Sally? Is that right? Do you know, I think it just looks a bit naff because of that, maybe? Oh, okay. No, don't be silly. I took it as a joke anyway. I thought, oh yeah, that 3 minutes was so long. I'm thinking maybe once everything's in, but I don't know. I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. It needs to be a bit more. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Sometimes that's all it takes. Is just a little line adjustment, and I suddenly feel happy with what's happening. Just realised that this needs to be more like this, and then more like this. Right, that feels a bit. This one still I don't like. I could be here for days adjusting this, so I'm going to do this one last time, and then yeah, that'll have to do. Also, Sally, you'll be happy to know as well. In the the sparest of spare times, I've been watching this really good Dragon Age playthrough, Dragon Age Origins. I think I told you the other day that I was watching one. And just got to a part where he decided to tell everyone that he will also be doing Dragon Age Awakening, Dragon Age 2, and possibly Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, I could spoil myself by checking his channel because this is a pretty old... it's like a 3-year-old series. But I think the thing I like about it the most is that I'm not a modder / good with mod, or mods rather, but I'd love to be able to play it with the mod that he has specifically that I've seen a couple of people play with, where they get the dog added as like an extra slot party member. So I did out a GCSE and I got a C, which isn't the worst. I wasn't happy with it, but it isn't the worst. But I did go to college for art, for A-level art, and it was just, I think I mentioned this in a previous stream, I think it was just quite, I thought going from GCSE to college, it would be a much more free, a free feeling in the art that you can do, and it just ended up feeling really restricted. So I think I started college in the September. I ended up leaving art about the November time, and sticking with the other subjects that I had, although then I didn't end up staying with them either in the end. So mostly self-taught, in the sense that this is just sort of coming from me. I mean, I won't, because I think I could end up waiting a while, but I would quite enjoy that. just got to do this nice big curly tail now. Let's make that bigger. I would like to play it again, to be fair. Not that I can't, I've got it. I just... There's so many other things I need to play. I didn't realise how bloody big and curly Wartortle's tail is. And again, this isn't about precision necessarily, because I'm happy as long as the picture looks like the Pokemon it's supposed to look like. For example, I think I need to bring his eyes quite a bit further down because they're just not in the right place at all. But I do like to try and get some kind of similarity. Yeah, I'm just going to rub out these eyes and start again on those before we do the line. What I don't want to do is try and do it freehand with the line in and then muck up something that I can't fix. So, and that is pretty important. Just realised I've been sitting here looking at the back of Charizard the whole time. I do apologise. Yeah, I can't really fix something like that afterwards, whereas I can fix it now because that should start much. Well, I say much, a little bit further down. And give him that angry Gen 1 look. That's a bit better. And that really shouldn't be there. Can't. Do I do this? Yeah, I'll do the ear again. That really shouldn't be there. Start that bit again as well. Because standard shapes, I can kind of carry on with, but the things that look important, I do need to kind of... I haven't seen the trailer, but I have seen that it was revealed, which I'm quite excited about. I've been, I think, since the GameCube have had, so we never had a SNES or a NES or a 64, but since the GameCube, I've had Nintendo consoles and PlayStations. I've only ever had one Xbox, so, but DS, well, no, that's actually not a lie. So Game Boy Color, GameCube, Wii, DS, 3DS, no, DS, DSi, 3DS. Didn't have a Wii U, although Alex has, but it was never really for me. And then even now, downstairs is PS5, Switch on the top, and they're the ones that I play almost daily, I suppose. Just put in some of the eye colour so I can see what it's going to look like once it's done, because the moment the eyes are still looking a bit funky to me. No, that looks good. Don't like this bit as much. That should be... There you go. I kind of like that. I didn't know you had cousins in Birmingham. Right, let's get lining out of the way so I can get past this part. As with most of it, I've been using a 0.3 liner. And I'll carry on using that because it is just for me the best fit, I suppose. So let's get this set down. Thank you. I'm just trying to make sure it's one of those, you know, when you kind of, it never seems right until it's done, if that makes sense. Once the line is done, then suddenly it's like, okay. Well, you say that, but when I was reading about the rumours for it, Mum, a lot of it was basically saying that their improvements are going to make it as powerful as, I might have read incorrectly, last gen consoles, as in 4 and Xbox One. I could be wrong. It could be the intention for PS5 and Series X, but I'm sure it was previous gen is where they're trying to get the Switch 2 to perform as well as. Yeah, I did remember right then. Which is a shame, really, but realistically to me, it's one of those things where Nintendo games almost never, for me, have been about graphical prowess. I'm always more interested in Nintendo games for what they do, not how they do it. Or how they do what they do. So I'm never going to be as kind of miffed about the game, the way the game looks graphic-wise, as long as it performs well. Just because I don't play it for that, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, no, Edmonton, certain parts of Edmonton especially aren't the greatest. Yeah, exactly, Sally. Gameplay, like, there's things that Nintendo games do that other games or other consoles don't, and that's always kind of gone back. That's always been their thing for me. All that clause, horrible. But yeah, the draw to PS5 for me, or PlayStation consoles, obviously, has been the games again. But I play those games because they look good. I don't play them because necessarily what they do. Although again, I also don't look for that in PlayStation games in general. I look for games that I like anyway. But there are certain games that I always say to myself, okay, that's a game for my Switch. That's a game for PlayStation. That's a game not to get. Exactly. And they always try different things with Mario, and I appreciate that because that keeps them going, but it keeps the fandom going. I've never been a huge fan of Mario myself. It's not my kind of game, and I've got Mario RPG in my Switch case. There have been games that I've enjoyed. And that's the great thing, is that there's games for everybody. They're not restrictive. They don't kind of pigeonhole themselves into, I am a Mario game, therefore I do this. And I find with consoles that pride themselves on performance aren't priding themselves on things that they should necessarily, like ingenuity. And that's not always the case. I haven't played every Sony game. I haven't played many Xbox game. That's not something I can say that I've done to, defend my opinion. It's just my opinion. But I will always look at Nintendo for innovation, Sony for performance, and Xbox for something to throw things in. Alright, let's fix this. I know you do, Sal, but yeah. What am I doing? I'm not finished. Only ever bought one Xbox, and that was because I had a tax rebate and just wanted to waste my money. And touched it twice, maybe. And once was a year ago, considering I bought it about 15 years ago. Once was a year ago, and it was to check that the batteries hadn't melted in the controller, and they had. Okay, I think lining's done. Oh, that was a nice click. Just searching to make sure I haven't missed any lines, and I think we're all good, so I can start rubbing this out. I realised when I'd finished Tuesday's stream, that I hadn't done the highlights on Squirtle. So for you guys and for anyone watching this on YouTube, Squirtle has had his highlights done, and again I've done that just with my colourless blender because I think it's really fun and a lazy way of doing it, and considering I should be starting with the highlight and colouring over it, I've definitely left that. Yeah, what was that all about? Why did the Xbox decide to have such a massive controller? What was that for? And to have the same buttons as Nintendo, but just move them a bit. Okay. Unless they were first, in which case, sorry. Okay. So let's just fix that. And then just get rid of that last bit there. And that last bit there. Okay, so I briefly touched on this at the start, but I'm going to try today and mix some of the thank you, Alex. Yes, I was right on yours. The annoying thing is now teaching my son to play Spider-Man on the PS5 was amazing. Alex helped start that off, and he's just literally physically flying through it. Get him onto what's wrong with Wartortle's wonky face? Great. Getting him into them games on the Switch is a bit harder because he's still trying to figure out the differences in the buttons, but also what the buttons do. So as well as telling him, right, press A, he also then can't figure out which that one is, because he knows that to select something on PlayStation, it has been triangle or has been X for most, although a lot of them are using triangle. Anywho, yeah, distraction. So I've decided to use, as I've mentioned that I was going to in a few of the streams, I've decided to use a mix today. So I'm using the Artex Alps that I've got. I'm using the small 40 pack of the Oahu series, and I'm using the 2 smaller boxes of the Kala series as well, for 2 reasons. One, they were on top, so I could just grab them, and 2, because I've decided that that's the reason. So there we go. So I think I'll try and start really now with the ears today. I'm going to try, I think this sky blue actually seems perfect for his skin. This is from the Oahu series. Maybe turquoise blue, because his ears, Wartortle's ears are really quite light, a really like bluish white. So I'm thinking I might have to sacrifice a bit of blue grey to get that, maybe warm grey. Got a sky blue there as well. I've got a cool grey. Let's try it on here. Oops. The struggle then is going to be finding, what was that one I just did? That's not blue, that's grey. So I'm going to use that for, in fact, you know what, while I've got it, before I forget it, I usually do them at the end, but I've got the marker with me now, so let's just... Wartortle feels wonky today, and I think that's because I came in here knowing that my son was still awake. No, I've joined the previous one, so I've got Squirrel up here. Blastoise will be on Saturday at about 2, although, no, probably I might not be able to do this Saturday stream actually. I've got a disco from the adoption agency that we've decided to go to, and I'm pretty sure that cuts into stream time, so I might stream on Saturday evening instead actually, depending on what it's like when we get back, and what time we get back. I think the disco starts at 2, so but yeah, that's the plan. The weekend is going to be Blastoise anyway, and then if we do get to do both days, it would Blastoise on Saturday, and then on Sunday it should be I think Caterpie, is it? Oh no. Oh, that's really bad. I think it's Caterpie, but please do not quote me on that when I come and do another one. Was it that one? Because that actually wasn't... that drawing to that. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is going to be a... Right, that sky blue is going to be for the darker parts. So I'm thinking I can't find a lighter colour. Let me go into the big box, one sec. Right, so I'm popping up in the other Oahu, the 160, because there's a lot of blue greys in there. I'm thinking if I can get a decent blue grey, then the sky blue can go over as the shadow, but it needs to be really, really light blue grey. So I've got blue grey 31, there you go, blue grey 11, and that's the lightest one, so let's try that. Okay, yeah, perfect. See, I won't even say method to my madness, it's just a method in general. So, in fact, I won't use the broad for this. So let's get on. So this is then going to be the base colour for the ears. This is blue-grey 11. And then we're going to go over that with sky blue. And this really is the reason that I'd like to get into the routine of using every marker that I have, simply because there's just so much more choice. Then I'm not restricting myself to, well, I can't find a really decent colour in this, and you know, the other boxes, I just have to get them out. Do you know where they are? They're literally, they're there. They're under the table in a little box, well, in 2 medium-sized / big boxes, but we're not going to talk about the number of things in them, because it's also filled with aqua markers that I rarely use and coloured pencils that I rarely use, and then it's topped off with about 12 sketchbooks. So if anyone remembers the other streams where I've been moaning about not having enough of this sketchbook, just feel free to tell me to shut the hell up, because I absolutely do have enough. Although I probably am still going to, just for consistency's sake, at some point get another couple of these, because I do like to, I don't want to have Pokemon in like random sketchbooks. I know some people, there's videos all over YouTube of people saying, oh, fill my brand new sketchbook with me. I don't want to fill a random sketchbook with random sketches, because that means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. If I'm just opening a book and filling every single page with things, and then they put like stickers over it, and that's cool if that's your sort of release and that's how you kind of wind down and whatnot, but that's not, to me, a sketchbook is to sketch things that you come up with there and then, or that you're planning to do. It's not, you don't buy a sketchbook and, well, you buy a notebook and just write lines in it. I must not use a notepad. I must not use a notepad. Well, I'll be honest, I did consider using printer paper, and I thought, no, absolutely not. I can't not use an actual sketchbook. And what I should be using really is like a nice multimedia book. What I should really have tried to get, that I've been trying to get since it came out, but just I'm not in the spending money moment at the minute, is the bleed proof Ohuhu sketchbooks, because they'd be absolutely perfect for this, because I could use both sides, you see, and they come in slightly bigger, they come in bigger landscapes, so I could actually do multiple per page. Absolutely, yeah. This is a payback, I think, for the many years of me doing it. Oh, I tell you what I didn't do. I didn't use that that blue-grey that wasn't blue to get my eyes in order, because that will help me when it comes to colouring in the face. Okay, so if we then oh, that wasn't this one, was it? No, that was free skin. What was the, oh no, where's the colour that I got for? Honestly, there's tons. There's so many, and it just makes no sense to think about anything other than paper, because otherwise you could be going down a proper rabbit hole just trying to get the what do you call it? Have I messed up here? Is it this one? No, it's way too dark. That's blue-grey 69, that's massively dark. I think I've messed up here a little bit and gone over, that's fine, because what I can do, and this may work, it may not work, is just, instead of highlights, let's oh Sally, felt pens. No, I need to That's going to be annoying. Right. So blue grey 11 is what I've just used, isn't it? Yeah. So what's... How dark is blue grey 31? That's 2. I swear. I think I've used the colour that I wanted to use for the shadow for the whole colour, I think, somehow. Because that I put aside there is for Wartortle's actual body. Well, yeah, body. So what I'm going to have to do is just go over this to darken it. Which thankfully I hadn't already gone. Because sometimes I do like a double pass to try and smooth it out. Yeah, it hasn't worked at all. Oh well. So the ears aren't as shaded as they could be. So what big deal? Actually, that's what's alright. Right, so let's just double check that that's this one. Yeah, it is. So what I want to do before I start on that is just make sure I've got a nice shadow to go over it. That's not bad, but it's very blue against the sort of I suppose the mutedness of that one. That's too dark. That's way too dark. And that's the biggest issue here is colours are so bright in these that you don't really have an option or many options. That's too dark. Many options for like muted colours. What's this? What was that? That was really dark, wasn't it? Yeah. And when you do have muted colours, there's not much that I can find to go with them. You could just go shadow-wise, doing like a nice grey over it. Like, let me have a look at blue grey 5 in this. What's this like? That kind of works. No, it's very grey, isn't it? That's a shame. Actually, let me get a fresh bit of paper. Let's do like a big circle like Wartortle's head would be. And then let's give it some shade with this. It's not the best combination, but I'm going to keep that there in case for now. And I'm going to keep looking, because that works out alright actually. Are you kidding me? So I just found number 144. Honestly, it's brilliant. I mean, you struggle in some other types of markers. Alcohol markers really are the ones that can do this. If you try it with like proper sort of alcohol markers, you are going to rip up the paper. But with alcohol, because the liquid is alcohol and it dries so fast, you're kind of done before you even start. You have to be quite fast sometimes to properly blend, and you can tell when you haven't been able to, and you get that kind of patchiness. But it literally is. It's you're right. It is mental. It's just amazing how you can do it. And now that they've got bleed proof paper, that's literally it's sheets of paper made with plastic in between them. So instead of having to use this, I can just colour on. I think I've watched a guy on YouTube try everything he can to really go through, and just absolutely nothing worked. He couldn't get anything to show up, which was great. And that, do multiple passes. You see those videos where people are like half-heartedly stabbing things, and he just doesn't obviously go through whatever they're stabbing, because of course it won't. They're not putting pressure on it. He was quite clearly like soaking this paper, and it just did nothing. And that is Bio who make the majority of the pens that I've got. And it's just, it's magical, absolutely magical. I found 144 in the Artex range, which has annoyed me because it probably could have been the base under this, but it means I can actually add something to this that's going to differentiate the colour a bit, which is good. Right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. You can tell the people putting the effort in because they want to actually try it out, and I appreciate when channels, I think there's a couple of art channels that have said, I've bought this myself because I want to give it my actual thoughts, not give it positive reviews because they've paid me to have the product, and I appreciate that a lot. Don't get me wrong, if any company ever was to offer me a sponsorship and say, but you have to say nice things, I'll be like, this is the most amazing product I've ever had in my life. But up until that point, I'll be quite honest about things. I need to find that colour. I want that colour. What was that colour? Does anyone remember what that colour was that I'm thinking of in my head? I want that colour. Was it that one? Yeah. So before I go into Wartortle's skin, I've got this little area of shadow to do, and it is kind of like just a dark grey, but I'm using Prussian blue just to keep with the blue sort of colouring, which is probably wrong, but oh well. And then I can do that highlight in a little bit. Now I did also just find what's this, sapphire? Yeah, sapphire. I'm going to use these to do Wartortle has two little like I suppose the only way to really describe it is like blushes. It's got like blush markings. What did I keep this colour for? What have I got fresh blue for? Don't know because it's way too bright for anything on this. Yeah, like blush marks on his cheeks. So I'm going to go in first with sky blue. Aaron? Oh, yeah. I'm happy that he's happy for me, thank you. I'm happy for me, so. Yeah, I'm going to go in with sky blue for the base colour for Wartortle. Yeah, and that's it. It's just someone who has genuine, not necessarily excitement, but genuine enjoyment of what they're doing. And yeah, Mom's a great example of that, of someone who, who just carried on because she enjoyed playing the game. She could have stopped 20 episodes in and started on the newest installment of FIFA or something. I don't know, some stupid game that's constantly coming out with the same thing over and over again. Do not start with me on Pokemon because that's everyone's criticism of that, but I won't accept it. But instead, no, she stuck with what she enjoys, and that's really the whole point to me of content creation. And that's why I think I get so frustrated about like TikToks and things, because it literally always is just regurgitation of the same thing. It's people Not even, you know, nothing's original. Everyone's done everything. You can't really find something fully original in any kind of creative outlet. However, if you're purposefully just copying something because that's what you do, oh, this is the walking down the street trend. Okay, you didn't have to walk down the street by yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? You couldn't just figure out your own shuffle. It just bothers me. And it bothers me that I have siblings that are in that generation, and I will have a child that's definitely going to be in that generation. Well, hopefully it's all dead by then, and my son won't ever be subjected to that rubbish. But I'm sure I'll be able to teach him the right way to walk in the world, instead of having to watch a TikTok to teach him how to walk, or to stand there and show outfits rather than just look at himself in the mirror and go, yeah, I look good. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, I like that. Carry on with his day. It's just, I don't know. It's like the world's so desperate for attention. And, you know, I can't really argue that I'm not... I could just draw this for myself. I don't need to stream. I'm clearly doing this for some form of attention and partially for accountability as well. I could draw it, I could just tell you I've drawn it. Oh yeah, I drew every Pokemon, it's done. But I'm doing it here for me as everyone else. But it just baffles me. It just baffles me. All I can say is I am baffled, and I am baffled every day, all day, because it does just continue to baffle me. Yeah, that's the crazy thing for me. It's like, you know, I can't begrudge them the success because they didn't choose the dweebs that follow them. That's just how success has found them, and that's, you know, that's fine. It's not a jealousy thing, although I'm jealous of the money, because I'd love to have that. But also, it's just a bit, yeah, it's a bit cringy. Say, oh, what's your career? Oh, well, I point at things. I mean, and to be fair, and if you say, I point at things and earn billions, you probably shut people up a bit, but... oh, missed a line. Silly me. Yeah, well, let's be fair, both of those nieces are in this generation as well, and I look forward every time to being shown the latest moves. Although the old one does seem slightly more aware of how stupid it is, even though she partakes in it, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's just grumpy old man moment, I think, but it's just, yeah. Because bear in mind, you know, I'm from the MySpace era where we all just did the same pose as everybody else. This is horrible. I'm just realising this now, but this is absolutely atrocious. Why did I ever think I could do it? Is this the wrong... No, this is this is what I mean about it. It looking different on my little sheet of paper to on here. Although I said that with Squirtle, and by the time it dried and I've looked at it today, it looks more like it did on the paper. No, I've not seen their Wicked video, but I do look forward to it. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's to be fair, the minute Alex started coming around with the vocabulary, I was already in grumpy mode, and now it's everywhere. Skibbity this and Ohio toilet that, and it's pathetic. But also, yeah, I can't imagine people didn't think that we were cringy at our ages as well. with the things we did. I never had a Bebo. Whether that's because it was slightly after me or around the same time as MySpace when I was already into it, I don't know. But yeah, I never had a Bebo. But I remember Bebo. The question is, does anyone remember Habbo Hotel? Again, I didn't have a Habbo Hotel account. What's this saying? What are you saying? What are you saying to me? 10%, okay. Yeah. Good thing is I'm coming to a similar part of the end of this because I've got 10% battery left. Now normally the annoying thing is streaming doesn't usually take much of my battery, and now it's had like 40%, but I've been upstairs for a while trying to force sleep on people, so yeah, I don't know what I've done with this. Hopefully it does dry overnight and looks a bit more decent, and hopefully looks a bit decent when I get the whatchamacallit on the colourless blender to try and get the highlights, but where are you from then? From there. I think I'm absolutely fine in the knowledge that I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that generation at all. I'm gonna just get this part in. I'm not part of that generation and don't need to be part of that generation. When my son starts telling me some rubbish, I'll tell him to shut the hell up, unless he can talk about Pokemon. In which case I'll be all ears. That'll be fine for me. But until then, don't speak to me about silly words and phrases that make no sense to me. Right, where's my black? So, Wartortle does have a similar colour shell to Squirtle, but I think I'm going to try some of the skin tones from the colour range and see how they might, because obviously there's not a skin tone on him, but yeah, Skibbity Toilet, what the heck? Like, Skibbity Toilet, okay. Ohio Skibbity Toilet, Ohio to you too, Ohio Gozaimasu, Watashi wa Dan, bye bye. It's just, yeah, it's just, I'm sure Mom's generation thought similar thoughts of my generation saying whatever the heck we said. I know Mom in particular didn't like for a long time, and probably still doesn't, the inits that come out, but they're now stuck as part of me, I think. Just gonna get why isn't Alex happy that you're gonna stream? Because he's not feeling well. I'll have you know you're the grandma now. So okay, that didn't really yield anything, so I'm gonna look at the others, and I do believe that melon yellow is gonna be too yellow. It is. What I'm looking for is like a yellow grey, and I know that one was milk tea I think we used. I know that one of the things that I have yellow greys in them, but I think they're just too dark. Right, that's good for the shadow, I think. What's more in? Let's go with this because I'm getting bored and I'm running out of battery. That is what I would also say to Alex. So we're going to use Milk Tea Multi again. I'm sure I used that at some point with Squirtle. And yep, I believe I used that for the base colour with Squirtle, so there we go. Consistency. So if anyone wants to play a game, you can play it on the Switch handheld mode. Okay, there's that. And it may seem like I'm rushing. I'm a little bit, but I'm not. I'm going to use Morin for the shadows. Now, Wartortle in his official artwork is leaning much more forward than I've got him here. He's kind of rearing back a little bit in my art. This isn't really a great colour. He's on the Spider-Man kick at the moment, isn't he? Yeah. So I'm going to have him possibly shaded a bit incorrectly just because he's not facing the same way as the art. So I thought I'll raise this bit of shadow here a bit and maybe give him some more under his head. And then of course let's give some depth to the grooves. And I think that's it for the colours. I'm just going to go in with the blender a bit. I didn't realise that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, I think, for the literal last step. Just so we can get let's get some. There's nothing here or there. Let's see if that colour blender works any better than the other one. We've got a little patch here on this knee. Some here on the shell. And again, this might not look right on the shell just because of where he now is standing. And I think that is pretty much it. Thank you. Yeah, so I think we're gonna finish off there. Do not like this Wartortle at all, but again, you can tell it's Wartortle. He does look a heck of a lot more like Gen 1 Game Boy Classic Wartortle than anything else, but yeah, we'll have to sort of stick with that for now, and hopefully Blastoise will be a bit better. I'll be a bit less, well, a bit more prepared, but less miffed. Although tomorrow is the first day my fiance is back at Scouts, which means it may be a similar night to tonight. Remake, or the original. Yeah, no, thanks to have it. It was nice to have some chats today. And hopefully, he'll love it, Mum. Tell him just to do what he does with every other game and just stick around for the side quests because there's a lot and it just makes it fun. And yeah, a lot of butter mashing in the fights. That is it for me then. So, for anyone catching up on YouTube, if you did like the video and want to follow me, don't forget to look in the description and follow me on Twitch. I stream Tuesdays and Thursday evenings, and then Saturday and Sunday afternoons. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're on Twitch, both of you that are, thank you so much for watching today. And I'll be back on Saturday, hopefully, with the next stream. And if you want to catch up, they're all on The Cetacean on YouTube, which the link is in my description down below. So see you all guys later, and I'll probably see you, I'm assuming, inside his stream in just a short minute. So see you guys later. Bye.